Welcome back to Etheria Restart. Today we're diving into a new Shadowflame Hoyan Inferno team. Now you may be saying, Echo, just about a week and a half ago you put out a hell team that was 100% clear rate. Well, we changed up the team a little bit and worked on some speeds, built out some Animus, and now we have a nearly 100% Inferno team clear. We could say 100%, but you never know when a freak accident is going to happen. To go through this team with us today, I have Hermes. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I'm so happy that we were able to build out a team that can take down Inferno.
Me too. It's like a little more head scratching for us to figure it out. And funny enough, you actually need to decrease the speeds from where we had them to get team 100%, which is something I never thought I'd say in a game like this. Is, oh yeah, we need to decrease the speeds.
I know. Well, let's talk about the Animus that we're going to be utilizing in here first, and then we can go in and demonstrate the team. Before I share with you all of the Animus, I need to thank Etheria Restart for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys haven't played the game, you get it absolutely for free with this QR code or my link in the description, along with 10 free summons. So I hope that you guys join us and start playing today. So Hermes, our first Animus on this team is a light dark SSR, Shadow Sonya.
Yeah, so Shadow Sonya, I mean, again, it's the same thing as we talked about before, but just for those of you that hadn't watched that video, just a reminder, she, on that A1, not only does she bring a dot, but she also has a passive ability that makes it that every single time she attacks, she has the chance to put out an additional stack of dot. And so you really want to max out this skill to make it so that that additional stack is actually 2 turns long for an additional set of damage. On that A2 is really interesting because she actually extends the duration of all dot debuffs by 1 turn. So that's actually very important because out of all the dot characters you have on this team, you want to make sure that she is going last. So she extends all the dots that the other units have just put up. And then on that A3, and I think we'll get to see it in action in this battle,
Yeah.
she actually explodes all the dots and just does a massive amount of damage.
Yeah, it's actually extremely rewarding to watch that damage be done. Also worth noting, a week or so ago, we did 300 polls on this channel. If you guys missed that video, check it out. And, well, we got a couple more of our Shadow Sonyas, so we were able to throw a little bit of extra stats into her as well. But we were able to 100% clear this boss before even adding any of these to her. All right, let's go into our next, which is Didding on the team.
So Didding is actually interesting. So he was the sub-in because initially my thought was, oh, you need someone to help sustain your dot damage dealers, make sure they're getting enough done, enough getting through the rounds. But actually, you just needed to get a little bit of extra damage. So Didding is literally there simply just to smack with his A3 and then smack with his A1. And it's just hoping that he does, and he just needs to do a little chunk of damage. He doesn't have drop defense or he has a vulnerable, but he doesn't have drop defense before. He doesn't get increased attack, nothing like that. Just his passive ability. So you're just looking for him to do a little bit of damage to really cap off your dot damage. This is a good one because he can actually be subbed in for kind of any damage dealer you're using. You just want to make sure, a Yelly is good, a Messiah is good, but you can really use any damage dealer that you just does a good amount of damage in your account just to kind of help your dot damage dealers get that little extra push to finish off the round.
Yeah, and it's nice that he's an SR as well, a lot more attainable for many players and one that's going to be a massive damage dealer. Now,
Exactly.
next up we have Fangus, another one with that big guy. I love how they both have that big weapon. I don't know, I like it.
Yeah, it looks totally sick. So the A3 obviously puts out a stack of dot and also has a decreased speed, and the A1 also puts out a stack of dot. What really makes him good though is that passive ability, which makes it so he has a 50% chance when latticed up, which as you can see, you definitely should invest lattice into him, that he is able to counter attack whenever an ally attacks. He's a 50% chance to do so. And again, with that A1 dot, he's just adding more stacks of dot onto the boss, killing it faster.
Yeah, and you guys are going to get to see how much dot is there between between Shadow Sonya, between Fangus, and then Obel as well added to the mix.
Obel is honestly like an MVP of this team. You're required to make it work. So I said already, Shadow Sonic needs to be the slowest dot member, and he needs to be the fastest. So Fangus really has to be like a middle tier speed. And the reason why is because of that stun and dot on his A3. This is a skill you really want to max out as well. make it a little bit easier on your overall accuracy requirements, but you really need to stun the side ads and get out that extra stack of dot that he brings. And what's really important for him and for Shadow Sanya is make sure they both have Codex of Magic on them. So the first time that they use their initial abilities, they get them reset and are able to use them again.
Yeah, that's something we spoke of a little bit more in depth when we were doing it on hard, was the Codex of Magic. But yeah, that's some is the Codex of Magic on all, or just one, two, just on two of our Animus, Shadow Sanya, and on him as well. Okay. Shall we try this? What's
Real
up?
quick,
Sorry.
on Fangus, real quick on him, it is actually good to have an artisan, and the reason why
Okay.
is your team is killing the boss so fast that you don't always need it, but it's nice to have that little extra safety net of having a shield that goes out on the team. So if you have the opportunity to put it on him or Didding if you really needed to, or whatever damage dealer, usually it's good to put like a White Fang on Didding, get him some extra damage or whatever else other shell you're using. But having a an artisan on the team can be really helpful to make sure that you're actually getting a little bit of extra protection in that battle to make sure that you're able to get all the dot stacks out you need to in order to kill the boss.
Nope, makes a lot of sense. Thanks for sharing so that everyone knows. Let's try this out and see what kind of damage we could do. All right, so we're going to go into the Shadowflame Hoyan. We're going to go with continuous battle. And we want to talk to you really quickly about the auto-targeting mechanism that's here that's important for this boss. So, Hermes, take us through this right here.
So the big thing with this is that you want to make sure, yep, right up there, that little button you're pointing at right now. You want to make sure that the big boss is, and I call it big boss, but it's Hoyan, is up in the position one. And the reason why is you want to make sure that when Fangus is, they're doing a lot of AoEs at the beginning, but when Fangus is counterattacking with your allies, he will target whichever enemy you have target you selected to target with your other Animus. So make sure this is on, either the big boss is in position one, to make sure that his counterattacks follow up on to the big boss for the maximum dot stacks.
I love how we talk in such technical terms here. The big boss. All right, let's get this battle going. We're going in 3 times, and you could kind of take us through what's going on here.
So again, like I said, you got to decrease the speeds a little bit. It's about 245 you want your Animus to be at to really fully activate those dot stacks. Now you see the extension starts, and Ding does a little bit extra damage, but you don't really see it till the second turn is really when you're going to see a lot more coming through when all these Animus get their second go around of how many dot stacks you're actually able to stack up onto the boss.
Yeah, I mean, we already are seeing big chunks of damage get taken off the boss. Again, we are in Inferno, the hardest difficulty right now. And look at the stacks up top. And here we go, Shadow Sanya completely
And
wiping
boom.
that. It is so, honestly, it's so rewarding watching it on Inferno because the damage that's dropped with those big attacks is just, it's bigger than you get on hard.
Yeah. And now, as you increase your strength of your team, maybe get some better modules and stuff like that, you can actually even take Didding out of the team and then run a 3-man team to beat this boss with just those 3 Animus, as long as you're able to survive long enough and make sure you have enough dot stacks. He's basically just there for insurance to make sure you get enough dot stacks on the boss to take it out.
Interesting. And that would just, and the purpose for doing that would just to be have a little bit of a quicker clear
Fast
time.
runs. Yeah. Those would be down to like 20-ish seconds because of the animations that Didding has. You'd be at about 20 seconds.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. I love it,
Yeah.
man. I appreciate you coming through. We're always going to bring you guys guides on how to take it down on hard when we're at that hard level, and then we'll bring you a second guide to kind of give you that update on what we did to the team, if any changes were made, if any upgrades were made, so that we can be successful on Inferno as well across the entire game. Now, if you want to stay up to date on Etheria Restart with guides, news, and things like that, please subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. And remember, guys, we were sponsored by Etheria Restart. Hopefully, you guys decide to try playing the game with my code in the description. Hope you all have a great day. Take care, Hermes. See you guys in the next one.